Monday. We're having a red day. What does this mean for markets? I expect that we will actually end this week quite green. Stay tuned because we have TA on a lot of the different crypto projects we got our eyes on. A couple gems in there, as well as targets, signals, setups, and more, and some context for some absolute bullishness, which makes me wonder why anybody could be bearish right now rather than looking for opportunities to buy if we do have a dip. Now, as we get going in this week, let's make sure we stay on top of this together. We're doing this as a family. Big love to each and every single one of you. I hope you're all doing well. The markets are still giving us opportunity before that next major leg up. So the question is right now, have you hit the like button? Have you shared this out to your friends and family over there on Twitter? We are live on YouTube and Twitter at the same time. Big love to every single one of you that is here. I appreciate you. Now, this might not feel like the pump song makes sense, but zoom out on the charts and you'll see we have been absolutely ripping for the last month and a half, 2 months. Really, we've been ripping since 2009 with corrections along the way. So with that being said, everybody, let's get in on this. Let's make sure that we understand what is going on. Let's get the music playing. Let's get active. Let's go.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. SEC and its policies rely on whatever Gary thinks. Bitcoin to flight to quality. I heard that from Larry Fink. Every hour losing purchasing power on foolish out there. It's not our fault. Blame the coal. It's the political cowards. When it comes to gas, our purchasing power just got cut in half. I sit back and laugh, open my bag, fill it with stacks and sats. Bitcoin pumping, altcoins pumping. I've been prepared for this. Can't tell me nothing.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. We are hearing from clients around the world.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been prepared for this.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoin, pump.
We are hearing from clients around the world.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
It's time to dive into these charts. Everybody get active in the live chat. Roll call if you are here, if you are listening. Pull your phone out of your pocket if you're listening. If you're watching, drop anything, any emoji, anything in that live chat. Let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Looking at what's going on in the crypto market today, we see, I don't know why that screen's pulled up. Let me go ahead and change the share screen. Hold on one second. Let me go back here. I actually have to go to that. Hold on one second. I don't know why it's sharing that screen, but the markets are still doing quite well. Where the hell is share screen? I don't know why that's like that. Boom. The market is still, oh, God damn it. Hold on one second, motherfucker. Work. Edit. Here we go. All right. Edit. Google Chrome. Boom. There we go. I don't know. I go from home to work to back and forth and it's just jacks up all the time. I don't know what's going on. That's also not what I wanted to share. All righty, let's go ahead. Hold on one sec. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm sorry. It's Monday, I guess. I don't know where this is at. Boom, Google Chrome. Boom, is this right? Boom, that's what we want to share. All right, now we can share what is going on. All righty, now, hey, it's Monday, right? So we are here together. Okay, whew. It's Monday. All right, so here we go. The markets are still obviously up and to the right. It doesn't feel like it when we're down here on the 3-minute time frame and we feel this. Let's remind ourselves to zoom out, especially starting the week. We see that we had this long consolidation and now the breakout, retest, and now the launch up here and the breakout, washout, back and forth. And we're still sitting right here. This does not mean, although this is up and to the right, we still have, a very real possibility of this coming back and testing back here in this region. We have to be aware of that, but I am ultimately more bullish than this actually coming down and doing that. So let's pay attention. We're going to be talking about the signals of what's going on here with Bitcoin, what's going on with Ethereum. Link making moves over the weekend up here. Look at this, all the way above $27. We see Aerodrome still on the breakout to the upside, kind of ignored this bearish breakout probability from this move. But what have we been talking about? We've been talking about the possibility of this moving up, capturing people long, not just on Aerodrome. I'm talking about on every crypto asset right now, breaking out, doing washouts in one direction, washing out the other direction before it actually resolves and gives us the move to the upside, because everybody is ultimately so bullish right now. We have such opportunity for predators in the market, which if you're making money in this market, unfortunately, you have to be a predator. You have to be somebody that's willing to buy the fear, to sit back in shakeouts, or to play these margins in both directions and realize that although the fundamentals are more bullish than they have ever been, although the fundamentals are more bullish than they've ever been, it is time right now to make sure that you don't get caught in the traps, which will surely be moving price in both directions over and over again. In fact, we saw this most recently. If we come back, let me pull this up. If we come back over here on Ethereum, we can see we had this sort of rising, in this case, you can call it a rising channel, or you can look at this and realize that we had a bit, rising channel here as well, but this broke to the downside, washed people out, now moved to the upside. And we're seeing a lot of these sort of washouts in both directions. So let's not get too hyper focused on only the bullish narrative, because things are so bullish, it makes people more emotional at these levels. And again, I apologize for my language at the beginning of the stream. It's Monday. But we are looking at a lot of things going on in this market right now. In fact, we're sitting here still at $3.5 trillion and people are getting somewhat bearish. And in fact, if we jump in and realize that not only is a bullishness that we are aware of, there's so much bullishness that we're not even fully aware of. We can only hypothecate this, and we can see that Prince Philip of Serbia says Bitcoin strategic reserves are already happening behind closed doors. You just wait till that news starts to break. So let's be aware that all the major players out there are making moves that you can't even see, let alone some of the stuff we're seeing in the news media. People are trying to make sure companies, countries, individuals, large wealth players in the global economic space are making sure that they can at least start getting stacked before the news of them starts to break. Then we can also see similar here, David Bailey, who's basically the founder of Bitcoin Magazine, Bitcoin conference here in the US, etc. At least 4 new countries have greenlit a strategic Bitcoin reserve. This is happening. G7 of Bitcoin has evolved from a joke to serious concept very quickly. Bitcoin superpower is a very powerful meme, and there's not enough Bitcoin for everyone to be one. Are you in or out? So let's remember, the bullishness is only stacking up in terms of the data that we should be paying attention beyond just looking at the price, saying it's up, it's down, where is it going? We see the data of what's happening, and it is suggesting that now is the time to stack. Now is not the time to panic. So when we move on, let's go ahead and hit that like button there. Now moving on, we also see in the past, things got crazy whenever the active cap exceeded the realized active cap. Whether we'll see this again depends on factors, but this is what he's talking about. This active realized cap up here. Look at this. We rejected back here in 2017. Came in, rejected again, but pushed much higher in the process. Came back and then broke well out of it. What did we see here? Rejected at it, had a pretty big sell-off. Here, rejected at it. I expect where we're at right now is somewhere in this zone, And remember, this was a huge exponential growth this was 2,000 to 20,000. This was basically, 12, 8, 7, I think, what was this about? About 13, 14, no, a little more than that, about 15, 16,000 up to 64,000. Where we're seeing right now, this price consolidating at $100,000 regional level, I do expect we will get that next explosive move very soon. Does that mean we can't reverse in the near term, wash a bunch of people out? It actually makes it more likely. but I'm such a bull. I just don't see it happening. Continuing on, what do we see? I said the bull race is here. Bitcoin stacking era, comprised of nation state stacking, institutional corporate stacking, pension fund stacking, hedge fund stacking. If you haven't realized yet, you better stack before the moonshot's price. As my mom said, or my mom asked yesterday, but there's a limited supply. So where are they going to get the Bitcoin from? That worries me. That is the most bullish statement you can imagine. I had to tell my mom, I said, listen, that's the point here with Bitcoin. There's such a limited supply. We are going into a supply shock region of this price action. So when people are looking at the price right here and it's going sideways, this is incredible. Look at this, from 91,000 to 103,000. We are consolidating at 100,000. When we zoom out on this and look at this on the 3-day chart, this is up and to the right since the start of this January 2023, the first formation of the bullish phase, which is the breakout, and then the bulls defending a higher low after having the first higher high. First higher high followed by the first higher low started to establish this bull trend. So we've been in a bull trend since early Q1 2023. This really scared people. In reality, we've been talking about it here on the BitLab Academy stream, which is a consolidation at or around previous all-time highs. Very similar. Let's go ahead and delete this right here. Boom. Very similar to this right here, this 19,000 down to 16,000 sort of consolidation where at previous all-time highs. We did the same thing. It just took a bit more work to do because there's so much more capital and there's almost disbelief around what we're going to do after $100,000. And what we do, we got that election result November 5th, boom, which was roughly, where was it? Right here, boom. And then we got that launch to the upside. We're consolidating here, even with the pullback down into this $77,000, $75,000 range. This would ultimately still be incredibly bullish if the price were to come back to here. This would still be a low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Do you get it yet? Everything that's happening right now is actually even more bullish than that because we're consolidating up here after breaking out of a bullish pennant. This bullish pennant has a target of $128,000. Currently, we are still consolidating in this region. So let's not lose the forest for the trees because we want it to happen this moment right now. That's the point right now. Now, if you're tuning in for the first time, I can guarantee you this is not going to be your last time. My name's Kellam, director of the BitLab Academy. We are here to bring meaningful tools, content, resources, break down these markets, make sure you know how you can decipher this information for yourself and really make sure you're stacking into profits this cycle that you actually put into your custody, not just something you're screenshotting at the end only to have it reverse and have you round trip all the way back to the downside. Now, if you are tuned in, I appreciate you. I love you. We are right in the middle of the holiday season. It is still a very green possibility for this month. And even this week, it is Monday. We're having a red Monday. Red Mondays, maybe even a red Tuesday. Typically you have markets, and I think we're going to see more traditional flow of how things happen in the crypto market as more institutional players come in, as more big money comes in, as more legacy market participants come in. And what a lot of times what you'll see, if you have a down first 1, 2, maybe even 3 days, you'll reverse that week and actually move up. If you have a very up first 2 or 3 days, you'll have basically the rest of the week move the opposite direction. It is the market players, the big market players playing the spreads so they can push it up and then bring it back to a mean. And we will see the overwhelming authority of who is like most bullish and who is most bearish based on the direction the trend takes it throughout the rest of the week. So let's look for opportunities right now with the market giving us these opportunities at the beginning of the week. Now, what does this mean for what is going on right now? I said, well, I'm glad you asked about this. You know, where is it going to come from? When supply is limited, or if demand becomes exponential, which is both of the things that we're seeing right now, which we're having more demand come in with the scheduled capital allocations towards Bitcoin, with strategic reserves, with MicroStrategy, with big money players getting their allocations of Bitcoin through ETFs, and then also altcoins starting to heat up as well. The price moves up when you have supply down and exponential demand going up. And we're getting both of these, AKA price goes up, supply shock is emerging, let's ride. And this was based on, basically this was talking about the Amazon shareholders basically seeing what we saw with Microsoft, which I believe is happening tomorrow, voting on whether or not they're going to have Bitcoin added to their treasury. All signs point to an incredible future if you want to buy a ticket to participate. The ticket to participate is a ticket that you own, that you custody, that is up to you, and that is participating in this market. That's all it takes. Sometimes that's buying and just sitting on your hands. And if you want to advance yourself beyond that, you can set a small allocation aside and trade as well, but do not trade your entire portfolio. Continuing on, this is what everybody's worried about, the price being high. Bitcoin post-halving surge, which means every 4 years, we have that Bitcoin halving. The halving is a reduction in the amount of Bitcoin that is awarded to miners every 10 minutes for processing and confirming blocks, and also editing the entire Bitcoin ecosystem. It's not editing, sorry, auditing. Auditing the entire Bitcoin ecosystem every 10 minutes. Shit, the Pentagon has failed every audit they've ever done. And they do once a year. The Bitcoin network gets audited every 10 minutes, and the miners get rewarded for that when they compete to confirm blocks. That also increases the supply shock. And what we're really talking about here is this is a halving, this is a halving, this is a halving, this is a halving. What have you noticed after each halving? Boom, up, up, up. This is that parabolic phase that happens post-halving, and we are in the middle of really starting to kick this off, and people are worried here. Guys, you haven't seen nothing yet. Now, continuing on, you want to know what it means when Chinese liquidity is about to explode? We're about to have more fuel for this Bitcoin bullish fire. The global liquidity cycle is about to move up dramatically. That new increased liquidity in global markets finds its way into assets. The risk narrative is about to explode. Bitcoin and crypto is very firmly in the risk narrative in the minds of investors. I think it's more risky not to hold Bitcoin, but you have to remember there's so many market participants out there that still are not even sure what Bitcoin is. You know, some people think you have to buy it like a stock, where you have to buy one full Bitcoin. There's so much awareness and education that still needs to happen, and it's just getting into the mind and the zeitgeist of the people. This is from Bitcoin Realist, commented on one of my posts today. He said, the whole sideways bull over the last few weeks has been a very clear shakeout of the tourists before the parabolic move rally gets going. My question for you is, are you here as a tourist, or do you see what's coming? Do you see where this is going? If you do, if you have conviction in looking at this data rather than buying based on price, you will not be a tourist, meaning you will be able to take profits in the future rather than jumping into every move, only giving your capital away. Continuing on, what do we got? MicroStrategy, every week, the last several weeks, bought another 21,550 Bitcoin, 2.1 billion worth. They now hold 423,000 Bitcoin over that, worth $25.6 billion. Guys, and this is only getting started. Bitcoin is a network that everyone participating, let's actually listen really quick to Dave Portnoy, who famously had a very confusing and belabored explanation about Bitcoin from the Winklevoss twins, the Winklevi from Gemini, and listen to what Michael Saylor says. I think this is a very easily understandable. I hope this works. There we go. Yeah. All right. Let's see what Michael Saylor says. I think this is very understandable. I'm going to put it on. I'll leave it on 1x speed. It's only 2 minutes. This we should share with everybody. And I tried to synthesize it here, but let's hear what he says.
Michael showed up about 20 minutes ago, and I want to wait. Look at the setup we got here. I want what we talked about, because we have the video of the Winklevosses telling me Eli Musk is going to outer space and raining gold down.
Hold on. Borns, listen to what the F I'm saying, okay? I said it's very possible for price to go down to $77,000. I didn't say we are. If you cannot listen and decipher words that are clearly said, you will not make it in this market. You will not make it in this market if you are listening to things as absolutes, and you deserve to lose money if that's the case. I don't think any of you deserve to lose money, including you, Born. So what I will explicitly say yet again, if I did not say it clearly, I said, If the price went down to $77,000, that would ultimately still be very bullish because that would still be low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. The possibility is there, especially because there's so much bullishness. There's a real possibility for an emotional washout of those tourists. I hope you're not a tourist. I hope none of you are tourists. What I'm talking about is I think we are going up from here, but because I am so sure we are going up from here, I am still prepared if we do get an opportunity for the price to come back down. That's what I said. I hope that re-explanation, saying the same exact words yet again, helps you understand what I'm talking about. So don't do this fucking bullshit. Bro, you said it's good. Listen to what people say. Don't go and spend some weird bullshit because you're not listening to what people are saying. It's Monday. It's Spicy Monday. Turn off your speakers if you're around kids or anywhere in school because I'm going to keep it fucking real today because that's what this is about. I'm tired of people not reading data correctly. I'm tired of people misconstituting what people say. I'm tired of people saying, you said this. I have been fucking on point with where price is going for the last 2 years on this channel. And if anybody here that's watching that's an OG, that's been watching for days, but not watching for months, watching for years now, throw a 1 in chat if you've been seeing the calls I've been making because they have been absolutely firing on point. So let's get back to it. Now that you so rudely interrupted me, Borns, let's get back to it. And listen, it's going to be hard truths from here on out. I'm not going to sugarcoat it with people anymore. Let's freaking go. All right, boom. I don't even care what Michael Saylor said. He said this right here. Bitcoin is a network that everyone's participating are engineered to win. Why? Because every other asset is rigged against players, the participants. Bitcoin leveraging, capturing the flaw in every other asset. Bitcoin is rigged to benefit anyone holding. That's what I said in regards, paraphrasing to what Michael Saylor said. So, okay. We're getting back to it. Let's get back into it because we got some TA we want to jump into. We got some signals we want to jump into. And before we get to that, Iran now embracing Bitcoin, whether or not you like Iran or not, again, whether or not like Trump or the administration, you have to look at markets for what the impact of the speculative nature is going to be on that market. More large countries, also part of BRICS, talking very positively about Bitcoin. Bullish, bullish, bullish. In addition to that, Bitcoin will flip gold, says Balaji, who's a very notable analyst and investor in the space. And this is the percentage share of that market cap that we're seeing, the ratio. And look at this. This is on an absolute bullish trend to push up and eclipse gold at some point in the future. Will it happen this cycle? Probably not. Could it? Yes, but that would be an astronomical move if that were to happen. It will probably happen next cycle, potentially the cycle after that, but I'm down for it whenever it happens. I'm stacking and I'm prepared. Just be careful. Hey, I love you guys. Boom. Consider this. Bitcoin's place on the global stage is so solidified. The U.S. Treasury Department calls Bitcoin digital gold and it didn't affect the price. Understand what that means. That's not bearish. That is so damn bullish that Bitcoin has such a strong ecosystem. And people are like, yeah, of course they say it's digital gold because we know that. Nation states are on pace to start a Bitcoin arms race. Fortune 500 haven't even really started stacking. Most asymmetric trade of your life. This in you, I don't know what I was saying. The trade. Oh, yeah. So this is the most asymmetric trade of your life. This in the fact that you trade your dollars to buy Bitcoin and hodl. That's it. So shout out to Mary Herbert gifting 5 memberships. Big love to you. Thank you so much. I also see Falco gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate you so much. And thank you everybody for participating here in this community so actively. Now, continuing on, we're about to get into the TA and all that, but $200,000, this would be, we've hit this even in this muted cycle, last cycle, we hit the red. The bottom side of the red, 268,000. Shoot. Come on, guys. Let's go. The yellow, which we have sliced all the way through in all cycles previously. The bottom side of that is $208,000. Let's go. This is from a power law probability model from my boy here, Plan C. So shout out to getting this data out to us. Now, total crypto market cap flexing the highest buy volume in history. Prices above the 2 million, prices above the 2 million upper Bollinger Band. Sorry, 2 million. What am I talking about? I look at data for price too often. Prices above the 2-month upper Bollinger Band as the bands expand from the tightest reading ever in history. This is the Bollinger Bands. It's applied to help account for the volatility probability and what's happening moving forward. When you get this squeeze, then you get the expansion. When you get this squeeze, look, see this push through it. What happened next? These are 2-month candles, 2 months, 4 months, 6 months. We just started this one, we're in the middle of this 2-month candle here, but we just started to break out of this upper Bollinger Band, and look at this starting to round out to give that signal, and look at the volume right here. We didn't even have that on this back here. The volume is saying higher, faster, stronger, maybe even longer. So let's be prepared. Do not get chopped out right now when the market is giving us these small emotional trading wicks back and forth. The time right now is to ride this to Valhalla. The Bitcoin price temperature has risen to 3.2 degrees. The BPT levels of 6 to 8 will become critical for the market. This is very similar to what we just saw with the probability, the power law probability model, the one I just showed with the color bands, 208 being the yellow zone, 268 being the red zone. Now, in this case, this has so much higher to go before we even get into these overheated zones. So, guys, people worried we haven't even hit the market cycle extremes yet. So much higher to go for Bitcoin and altcoins to follow. Now, this is what we're talking about. This is not hit. This is MVRV. Market value to realized value. That's what MVRV stands for. Market value is the price you see trading on exchange. The realized value is the average of every Bitcoin in circulation the last time it was moved. So if I've held a coin from $1,000, that's its realized value because that was the last time it moved. Now, if I sell that to you at $98,000, that coin is now, that adds to the average of $98,000 because that $1,000 no longer applies because that coin moved. So you're getting a metric on the average of every coin in circulation the last time it was traded. So this spread, when you go below it, offers an awesome opportunity for where to buy. That was a market cycle low down here from $20,000 down to $16,000. Now, when you get these large spreads, this metric down here shows when you have the spread of the market value from the realized value. When you get very overheated, that's when you start looking for your exits on that market cycle. So we have got a long way to go, but then what's going to get us there? Seems the crypto market is topping up on the fuel that makes it fly. Topping up meaning the fuel, liquidity. We talked about global liquidity before for the crypto market to push higher, but what about within the crypto ecosystem, a potential signal that could suggest the crypto market is fueling up for another major move? Besides bull market tidings, stablecoin supply hit a new all-time high, up 13% month over month. Stablecoins are the fuel of the crypto economy, and their supply growth shows fresh liquidity flowing into the market. That's what we're talking about right now. When you start getting a huge stablecoin print, people are pushing into the market, buying stablecoins with fiat. They have to mint new stablecoins for that new stablecoins that are being purchased from fiat, transferred from the legacy system into the crypto market, like Tether, USDC, all the stablecoins. But that is showing that people are providing liquidity and moving it into the crypto market that will soon, very likely, get deployed into buys, then transacting the stablecoin for crypto itself. The future is here, and it's the signals are only getting stronger. Big love to everybody here. And thank you, Borns. You're a member now. And by the way, I wasn't calling you out directly. I'm calling out myself. I'm calling out everybody in this market. We get ourselves such built up in a tizzy with information because we hear it through a different lens, and the impact of the statement from a person, a lover, a family member, a relationship, a market where our money and our future is tied into. We need to make sure we listen to things without a bias so that we can hear what's trying to be delivered so we can make smart decisions. And again, I appreciate every single one of you tuning in and getting active in chat and so on and so forth. Now, Q4 is the best quarter for Bitcoin. Q1 is the best quarter for Ethereum. Let's see how this plays out. Maybe it's delayed by a few weeks. Maybe it's delayed by a month or so. I do believe that by the end of this month, we will be further up in that hundreds, whether it's 108, whether it's 120, whether it's 128. Let's see how it plays out. We're going to be looking at this day by day, breaking down the data as we go. But then this is where it gets exciting because all of you, how many of you have more altcoins in total, the dollar amount in your portfolio? How many of you have more altcoin valuation than you do Bitcoin? Because this is what a lot of people are looking for right now. I said the flood of capital hasn't even begun yet in the crypto ecosystem. Altcoin markets will see an incredible alt season in the very near future. And when it happens, you want to have been positioned before that because it's going to happen quick. If you start jumping into green candles, you might be jumping into something that's already starting to reduce momentum. And you might be picking the wrong horse. Figure out what it is that you are interested in this cycle. Do the diligence, whether it's just based on data, whether it's stuff you're interested in, trying to find a cross section between those so that you can ride this. Because what's going on? Look, the MACD crossed up ferociously. This is a weekly chart. We also saw the last time this happened, bounce down into it, started to expand. This is also alt season kickoff where we had this descending resistance and then the breakout, descending resistance, breakout, and MACD. Showing we've got quite a, and this suggests we could get all the way up into the 7 trillion mark just for altcoins. That would be Ethereum and everything else, everything excluding Bitcoin. But let's see, we might get a little bit of a diminishing return. Maybe we only get 5 trillion. That still would be exponential from here. I mean, guys, what we are in store for is nothing short of spectacular. And I said AI, this gentleman right here. Let's see what he says. This is very bullish.
We don't have a good English word for making smarter in smarten, smartify. So I use the word cognify to mean making things smarter. And I'm suggesting that in fact, this is a very broad verb that will apply to everything in our lives. And that basically anything that we have already electrified, made electronic, automatic, we're now going to cognify. We don't have a good English.
Do you know what cognify means? He's talking about AI agents, AI implementation, integration into essentially nearly every form of technology that we use that is digital, not fire and a hammer and stuff like that, but all those things in some ways will be as well. But your computer, all these tasks we do online, data, information, sharing, storage, all of this is going to be moved in towards AI. And so, right here, I said, if we're truly emerging into the blockchain era, what 5 AI coins do you think will dominate? And I listed Tau, BitTensor, Near, GRT, Render, and Track. Also bangers here, ASI, ATH, which is Aether. And then of course I should have put in there as well, AGI, which is Delicium, which also has partnerships with Microsoft. So what does that mean for what's going on right now? Because when we're looking at the market, we're seeing this just trying to not let us believe this is going to go up. There's some people that are super bullish. They keep jumping in here and it keeps dropping. They jump in here, it drops. They jump in here, it drops. So then what happens is people start to lose their bullish will and they start flipping their narrative bearish. And when that happens, the funny thing about that is when that happens, that's when the market goes truly bullish. Everybody's still jumping on everything bullishly and it keeps flipping and wrecking them. And then once they do, boom, it wrecks all these shorts and comes back up. So we're going to need to pay attention to what's happening here because looking at this on the 6 hour, let's look on the 8 hour, we see the VWAP here on the BitLab Trend Fuel. Come on, internet. There we go. We see the VWAP angled down a bit. We see the stochastics angled down. We see the momentum wave has gotten much smaller. That's all these white bars here. See how it's getting smaller top, smaller top. When we get out to the daily also, we're seeing a very similar thing. In fact, we actually saw pretty large bearish divergence on the daily RSI. This is the purple line here on the BitLab Trend Fuel. The RSI You see this is from the same point, the price higher high, higher high, higher high. Okay. Same time, the strength is getting weaker. Same time, the momentum's getting weaker. Same time, the stochastic's getting weaker. Top to top. Same time, the VWAP's getting weaker. This may be calling, and we saw this right here with this washout in both directions. We may get another washout. As bullish as I am very aware that it might be setting up to wreck people. We'll have to see. It also is going to depend on the schedule of news that comes out over the next couple of days, especially with the Microsoft shareholders meeting, I believe is tomorrow. We also have the FTX funds are going to start being distributed between now and March, which is 16 billion, back to crypto focused people. We have the story about Amazon. We have MicroStrategy buying. The news just seems to get, it's pretty incredible what's going on right now. So I'm not, even if we did dip, I'd be ultimately very bullish on that because it might be what we need. Although it's hard for me to see that happening with all the bullishness that we're seeing in the market. When we look over at Ethereum, look at this rising channel we have. Rising channel that's been respected. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are we going to come all the way back to this as it stands right now? I mean, look at this. Let's actually move this up just a touch right there. Are we going to get down into this zone where we have a rising level of support and a horizontal from this top right here? Oops. And a rising level, horizontal level of resistance where this rejected, this bounced. See, is this the box we're looking for Ethereum before it starts its next move to the upside? Maybe. In a regional aspect, it's already kind of gotten into this box. So let's pay attention to what's going on. We also see that, look at this. Ethereum weighed against Bitcoin, pushed back above this trend line and is finding a little bit of support on it. Now you say, what is this trend line? This bounce, 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 this rejection, this rejection, this rejection. And now we're sitting right above it. This is the ETH to Bitcoin chart sitting right here. If we can hold here with the ETH to Bitcoin chart, look where it rejected, right on the order block here on the BitLab trading stack. BitLab indicators are crushing it, guys. Rejected right here, finding support right on the point of control. This is the teal line coming out. Point of control is the price point on the screen we're looking at right here. Where did most of the volume trade in price? Right where this teal line is. And you can also see by this sort of graph is showing you how much volume was traded at every relative price point. This is the highest node. This is exactly where we're bouncing right now as well. But we have the VWAP angle down. We have negative money flow. We have the momentum wave rolling over. This suggests to me, if we don't hold this, we're likely coming back down here to the 0.038 or somewhere in this region here. We're getting very near. We're getting very, 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 very near. I know we've been saying it for a long time, but the case is getting stronger. We're getting very near that major alt push. And I think part of it got kicked off with the XRP, $100 billion injected into its market cap last week or a week and a half ago. But now ETH is going to be the real catalyst. I think when it starts to move, then we'll start to see other altcoins move and we'll see that regular sort of capital rotation throughout the market like we normally see. Now coming back over here, we also, as I said, saw Link. How many of you are Link Marine? How many of you have been stacking Link or at least at minimum holding Link, waiting for this move? Because remember, this case right here, 517 or 530 days, something like that, 521 days. Look at 518. Sideways price action, setting an incredible base. Pushed up, created this downtrend, basically symmetrical triangle. Bounce right into here. Came right up in here. Look at this small hesitation right here. And then as soon as we broke, pop, where did it go? Right into the order block that we see on the BitLab indicators. Right here, the BitLab volume. This is where it's having some trouble. But in process, what's really happening is there's a bit of a bull flag, excuse me, a bit of a potential bull flag kind of happening here. We can delete this now, kind of option T, cut this out, boom. Bit of a bull flag here. If this turns into a Bart Simpson pattern, watch for a move down into this zone, $21, and potentially even back down all the way to 18. Now I say that, not saying it's going to go there. I look at things in probabilities. If I'm very bullish, great, let's be bullish. Let's look at those targets. But I also always want to make sure, what is my plan if it goes the other way? Because this market has a way of showing the most bullish signs and reversing on you to catch you off guard. It also has a way of showing this, okay, it failed, say it fails, and gets everybody to commit short only to come back up like this and make the move back upward. So I'm saying if this breaks down, I'm watching for a target ultimately here first, $22, $21 region. If that's lost, then I'm looking for this region down here, about 19, 24, 1940 sort of region. If I had to guess, this will be most likely a breakdown, fake out, reconstitution, little boom, and then that move to the upside. Because we've seen it already play out on about 15 different coins. About 15 different coins that I've shared with you guys have had a setup that suggested a breakout one direction. In this case, this suggests, one, it's a bull flag, but it is a rising channel. This could very well commit you short, bear trap you before launching up. Crypto Crank says, BitLab Academy, we have to be prepared for ETH to hit all those stop losses on the fractal moves up. It would clear that all out at 3K. Well, let's look at that. Shout out Crypto Crank. Hey, Crypto Crank, let's get you on the stream, talk some charts, talk some other things on here. I'd love to have you because you're an OG trader in here and you're really doing some great stuff. Now let's come over here to Ethereum. I want to look at the ETH liquidation. I forget how to do it on. So let's see. 1 day, let's do 7 days. Yeah, I mean, look at all of these liquidations come all the way down to 3,400. We can look deeper. I just don't know where to find that heat map. I always forget for Ethereum. Let's actually come back over here. Funding rate, liquidation, heat map, and symbol. Here we go. ETH. Now let's go to 1 week. Yeah, there's a little bit of stuff here, and I mean, it's not a huge amount. Let's go to the 3-day. There's not a huge amount below us. There's more of, I mean, there's a huge node above us, but I do think there's could be a bit more of a washout if the market reverses. But yeah, yeah. But I mean, guys, I'm ultimately more bullish than bearish. I'm prepared for washouts to the downside, but I'm ultimately way more bullish than bearish. Aerodrome also, look at this, bull flag up here. Bull flag up, breaking out of this. But this pattern suggested a breakdown. Rising wedges suggest a breakdown in price action. This said, nope. Boom, shoots up. Where did it go? Right into, yes, that red block. I did not draw it. The BitLab indicators showed order block up here, meaning huge amounts of liquidity came in here with larger players, not just retail putting in a bunch of $10 trades. This is large players putting in here liquidity in this area, defending this area, and then look, push right up into the zone. Now we have a bit of a bull pennant. This suggests a continuation to the upside. However, if the market does reverse, and as I was saying, a lot of these fake outs are happening, a push up, oh, bull flag doesn't happen, comes back down, washes out, commits you short, and then makes the move. That's a very real possibility. As it stands, though, just looking at the price action, bull flag, if this continues down, we want to watch this. Oops. We want to watch to see. Yeah, we want to watch to see if this does come down to this $2.02. If it loses that, the next target I'm looking at is right here. We can draw a box around it. This zone right here, potential $1.85. And if that's lost, I do think we're going to be making that move down here into the $1.47, $1.33 sort of range. As it stands right now, remember, that's just a probability thing. That's a risk management assessment if it goes that direction. If this maintains as a bull flag, we want to watch. This is on the 8-hour chart. Let's go to the 2-hour chart. See, on the 2-hour chart, it even looks a little bit more bearish because of this sort of price structure. If this does, there we go. Boom. Draw this out. If this is able to break, look, another order block right above us. See how there's this order block and this gets brighter right here? 2 order blocks right in the zone. They really don't want to let this run away yet. If this is able to break out, that wouldn't be my move. I'd wait for it to clear this secondary order block here. And in reality, I'd kind of wait for it to break this 233 here, really for more confirmation that this move is not just going to make a giant M pattern, meaning come down, come up here, something like that. But so I'd watch this come up here, work, boom, come up here, find some support here before continuing up there. But then we see ONDO also. ONDO, very similar to Aerodrome. We have two order blocks right in here. Comes right down into the middle of the order block right below us. Let's watch how this plays out. But ONDO, I mean, I'm so bullish on ONDO this cycle because it also has BlackRock participation. The target on this, the target on this is all the way up here at 281. Now, why is that? Look at that move. That's a bull flag. That's the breakout. Boom. Right into this we go a little lower now, 275, because it's continuing down a little bit. But look, VWAPs. The VWAPs are all trying to get a move down rather than up. Positive money flow though. The VWAP is kind of higher lows. The RSI looks like it's trying to bottom and make a move up, but the RSI, we see a bit of a trend line right here on the RSI. If this can break out of this, then maybe the sentiment is shifting here and we get that move. It's on the 6-hour chart. XRP, you know, they had that 60 Minutes interview yesterday. We got a bit of a falling channel here, also a bit of a bull flag, kind of how you want to look at it. But large move on this. It wouldn't be unquestionable for this to have a bigger move to the downside. However, I think the XRP community is waking up, and retail, you know, Dogecoin, XRP, SHIB, as much as I'm not a huge fan of them, like for my portfolio, I'm also aware that they're probably very, very, very much in the zeitgeist of new retail coming in. They see this moved a lot. Retail sees something that moves a lot, and then they want to jump in, even though it's already high as shit comparatively. They jump in, and then their exit liquidity the second it moves, right? So what happens here is if this can hold this zone, then maybe we get that next leg up. But we're watching all these VWAPs angled to the downside, kind of showing a little bit of weakness in the market. Stochastics angled down. A pretty big bearish divergence here from the top of this move to this one. If we look at that same time period, look at where we're at here. Look at how much higher that is. So there's a little bit of weakness coming in right now. Maybe we get some of these things flushed out between now and Wednesday, and then we resolve to the upside. But guys, I mean, the setup generally is very bullish. Now, here we go. Cardano, it's actually looking a little weak here. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Starting here, we see that the tops are starting to round over like this. See what I mean? Top, it's kind of rounding over. And now, look, this is pushing up. Higher low, higher low, higher low. We got our first lower low. If this pushes up and can't break through, then we have a next lower high. And then we might be getting another move back down into this 91 cent, $1 to mid 90 sort of cent range. If we can hold this zone, and the price is actually in the middle of the order block right now, if it can hold this and start pushing up, then essentially what we want to see Cardano break through not only the point of control right here, this teal line, but also this descending level of resistance. We want to see this clear $1.19, and then likely we'll get another leg to the upside. Avalanche, looking a little choppy here. Top, higher, low, lower. This head and shoulders that just didn't really facilitate or follow through. But then the price is just chopping sideways. This kind of tells me it might want to take a little bit of a minimum, a sweep down maybe into the 47, maybe even potentially down here into the 43s, because this is looking weak. We have bearish divergence on the momentum wave. We have the stochastics angle down, the VWAP angle down. What does it show on the BitLab intelligence? Trend shift. And what happened? Sideways. Trend shift. What happened? Sideways. Now, this went sideways and then up. So let's see how this plays out. I am generally thinking more bullish than bearish, but it's my point to show some bearish possibilities today because we all want this to go up. And when you want it to go up, you do stupid things with your money and you give your trades away because you are trading emotionally. So let's make sure we're looking at some risk management in the market right now so we don't do stupid things with our money and give it away. That's my point with this. What is Solana doing? Head and shoulders here. Didn't quite play out. But then another, look at this, round another, followed by another, God dang it, followed by another bearish pattern, followed by, let me click 7 times for these buttons to work, followed by another bearish sort of roundingness right here, getting rejected here, right here at this trend signal line, right? We're now under the weekly VWAP, which is this yellow line. We're under it. We got rejected right back at it. This kind of tells me this might want to make a move down here to about 214. And then the next level below that would be down here at about 192 to, 192, 193. Negative money flow on the 6 hour. VWAP angled down. All this red on the dashboard, kind of giving you a quick look at the position of the many different signals in the BitLab indicators right here. Just quick look. Bearish, bearish, neutral, neutral, bearish, bearish. And we're under the trend signal line on the 6 hour, and we lost the weekly VWAP. The last sort of saving grace is that we're in this giant green order block that's right here. And we're kind of finding, looks like we're trying to find a little bit of support here. If we can find support here, great. Maybe this was trying to convince us it was bearish, and then it just comes up and rocks our world and continues, which is very possible. But as it stands right now, that you can also see a bit of a, I mean, yeah, I just, now that I'm looking at all these bearish signals, damn it. Now I'm looking at all these bearish signals, it kind of leads me, I don't want to be bearish. In the very near term, maybe we get a little bit more of a washout early this week before the price actually resolves to the upside. Now, it wouldn't be unfounded. It wouldn't be massively uncharacteristic. In fact, it would be par for the course for crypto. Another thing, I had actually rotated a little bit of stuff into near because we're getting this washout to the downside. Look, rising wedge, it broke just like it suggested down. And where is it now sitting on top of? It's sitting on top of the order block right here where all of this rejection, 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 washout down and then launched here. This wick down here as well, defended. Wick down here, defended. We're currently sitting on the top of this order block right here. But look at this. They're trying to bring it down. See these red bars on the momentum wave? That means a lot of sell pressure came in, and yet we're starting to get some small signs of reversal. That's on the 6 hour. What does it look like on the 2 hour? Okay, on the 2 hour, trying to find a base here. If we can push up, we really want to get back above this weekly VWAP here on the trend, on the BitLab intelligence, part of the BitLab indicators, which is right here in the middle of this dynamic resistance zone. That's at 738. Watch for a push up to 738. If it gets rejected, this will likely come back down and make that next move down. If this pushes up, finds, rejection at this trend signal, but then support at this yellow line, then we're starting to brew the confidence to make that next move to the upside. Bit tensor, also a little bit of move to the downside, little bit of bearishness here. Pretty strong moves up, weaker move up, weaker move up. Now, if lost, see this finding support on the weekly VWAP, tried to fake out, but support. But now look, rejection at the trend signal line, formed an order block up here. Now it's being suppressed under the trend signal line and this 20 moving average EMA ribbon right here. What am I talking about? See this EMA ribbon right here? We're getting rejected, showing weakness. Tried right at the VWAP, rejected. So let's see what happens here. If we can push up and break through this currently 677, we want to watch the next level up here about 691. We need to clear this trend signal line. And then ultimately we have to tackle this order block region up here from 719 to about 740. Injective. See, everything's kind of given that, sort of bearish washout vibe at the moment. Guys, remember right now, as the market is giving some of these corrections, this is not a crash. Nothing's crashing right now. A crash is once we get, 12, 15%. We're getting small stair steps retracing to the downside, trying to figure out where the bulls are coming in. It's a direct metric. Looking at a chart on any asset is a direct metric of the psychology of the market overall. What's the narrative between the bulls and the bears? When it's all bullish, you see very strong movements to the upside. When it's very bearish, you see only strong movements to the downside. When you're looking at this, the price action coming down, for instance, right here, strong bullish narrative. Bullish narrative is getting weaker And it's kind of oscillating between the bullish and bearish narrative until ultimately the bearish narrative wins out and you get bearish. Until the bullish, this is what we're watching for. We're trying to catch these swings in both directions. If you're trading on the smaller time frame, if you're looking at the bigger time frame, you're doing the same thing, but you're doing it over longer periods of time. You're trying to figure out where this narrative is going to switch. But overall, the market is feeling very, very good right now. I do want to say right now is we are stacking into our future. I do want to shout out our sponsors real quick before we go through a couple more things. Make sure you're protecting your future. Make sure you are protecting your crypto. Head over to getarculus.com, one tap total security. Getarculus.com, use code BitLab20, BITLAB 20. You get 20% off. It is my favorite, and I think one of the best crypto cold storage solutions out there. One tap total security. Getarculus.com, use code BitLab20. And of course, also make sure you're protecting yourself online. I've been using NordVPN for about 4 or 5 years. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I go and get one of the best deals you can get out there for all of you? It's something everybody needs when you're out there navigating online, whether you're doing online banking or crypto or just doing anything. You're buying and shopping. Your identity is at risk. Your money's at risk. Your crypto's at risk. All that. Use NordVPN. Head over to nordvpn.com/BitLab. The link is in the description down below the video right here. If you scroll down, you can see nordvpn.com/BitLab. You can also see Getarculus right here using code BitLab20. And of course, if you want to trade with us, free Telegram, free traders group. The link is right here. Join our free traders group. The link is also pinned in the top of the live chat there on YouTube. And of course, if you want to participate in the giveaways we do on this channel at the beginning of every week, and I'm going to do ours tomorrow instead of today. I had to put some chapstick on because my lips are cracking. Make sure you scroll down below here on each daily video here. If you hit that retweet, hit that like button. It's over at Kelly Kellam or at Academy BitLab. Come and retweet this, hit the like button. You get entered to win. We've been giving away all kind of stuff. I got some cool things I spent about 3 hours making yesterday. Some pretty badass stuff that I'm going to be giving away here when it comes in. So you guys are going to like it. I might even turn it into its own store because the thing's so cool. But make sure you're sharing. We got 577 watching on YouTube, on Twitter. We got another 400 something here on YouTube. Shout out to everybody. 952 people here. Shout out to everybody. All right, we got about 7 minutes left. I want to see everybody on YouTube and on Twitter. I can see your comments when you open up when you're watching on Twitter. There's a chat function in there. I can see all y'all's comments here in my live window. So I want to see everybody spam 2 coins. Spam 2 coins out there. And let me know what you're looking at. I do want to highlight something, though, as well. I do think, as bizarre as this is, I'm not a meme coin guy. I will say, I think we see Altcoin Daily. Let me see where it's at. Boom. Right. Where's something here? Where did it go? Somewhere here. Here, let me go to my notifications. Where are my dogs at? All right, so I do want to highlight the dog meme coin. Why? Because I don't think at all of dog on Bitcoin, dog on runes, dog to the moon as a meme coin. Why is that? Because it was released free and fair. There's no token lockups. All tokens are already out. There's no inflation like Dogecoin and Shiba and all these other different coins that are out there. There's no paid influencers. This is only community. It's full organic growth in the principles of Bitcoin. And it's yet to tap. No coin out there has tapped the $2 trillion market cap of Bitcoin. In fact, there's people like Altcoin Daily who what did Altcoin Daily say? Top meme coins to know in 2025. The number one he listed was Dog, the Dog Bitcoin ecosystem coin. We also see Mark Yusko in an interview that he had with Altcoin Daily said that he owns Dog. He likes it because it is different from all the rest. Then we also see Matthew Hyland has been posting about it relentlessly. Crypto Recruiter, which is Dan Gambardello, one of the larger crypto YouTubers out there as well, is screaming from the rooftops about this. And it just hit an all-time high yesterday and starting to pull back, but it is only just getting started. When we pull up, if we come over here, we pull up Dog. Let's go to the 3-day chart. we can see that this is non-existent. That's a glitch on the chart. This is a dog chart right here. Nice move right here. Cup and handle comes back, launches up into a bull flag, and it's just starting. Maybe there's another opportunity potentially if this does rotate back around a little bit to the downside. But this, remember, when you come over here and you look at, if you come over here and look at Matthew Hyland, let's go to Matthew Hyland. I can spell Matthew. There we go. Matthew Hyland did a post about this, talking, very specifically about the X factor on what's happening here. It's 1/69th the size of Doge, 1/19th the size of SHIB, and 1/11th the size of Pepe. It has 0 tier 1 listings. It's not available on any major exchange yet. But I have a very strong feeling very soon it will start to be listed. We saw Kraken actually did a post about it the other day and listed a bunch of different coins, and the engagement that came out for the dog meme coin was exponentially higher than any of these other tokens. And when it does start to get listed on Binance and Kraken and OKX and all these various large Coinbase, that's going to be, absolutely major. And again, I'm super bullish on it. I do not recommend to anybody to buy any coins. I'm just telling you what I'm looking at. And I think as Matthew Hyland pointed out to me the other day, he really thinks that this is going to absolutely, he called Pepe before at 25X, and we'll only see what can happen. And sometimes you have to play in this market and do not only things. It is listed on BitGet. It's also listed on MEXC, but it's not on any top top exchanges yet. I'm super bullish on it as a playful means to support positive community, to support the antithesis of all these other damn rugging meme coin projects that are out there. I'm not involved in any way with dog. I just think it's great, and I want to support positive community impact tokens that are out there. So shout out, clip this if you want, share it wherever you want. I'm putting you on notice. I think dog is going to do very well in this market. With that, I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm looking at all the coins that you guys listed in here, making a note as to what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So again, you could, another second, everybody put in some coins you're interested in. I'm going to look at this after the stream, and I'm going to make sure that I hit many of those coins tomorrow's stream. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Everybody, let's get that like count up before we go. Show some engagement, show some love. 932 of you. I appreciate you. Again, if this is your first time here, I really hope it's not your last time here. My name's Kelly Kellam. Welcome to the BitLab community. We are going to ride this to the top, and we're going to take profits this time. We're not taking screenshots only for it to go to zero. That's all I got. Let's head over to the blockchain basement now. With that, adios, muchachos, and we'll see you there. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. I know I'm going to see you again.